silaha yoyote iliyotungwa kinyume chetu kitakayofaulu. Hakuna silaha yoyote iliyotungwa kinyume chetu kitakayofaulu. The other way of becoming a believer who is quite strong and who is intentionally building on the strength within is what we learn from Jesus' story. When he was really facing a tough time in Gethsemane, and he was asking his disciples to stand and pray with him, and some of them were feeling sleepy. Actually, it was all of them were feeling sleepy. And we see in the book of Matthew chapter 26 from verse 41, he told them, watch and pray that you don't fall. Watch and pray that you don't fall into temptation. Temptation is one of the systems that we call fashioned weapon that the enemy uses to lure you outside the will of God. We talked about the enemy fashioning a weapon against you. One of the ways he does that is that he looks at the desires that you have in your heart. And if they are wayward desires, how does he do that? He will just expose you to situations and see and observe how you respond to those situations. So if you're given to loving movies like I was, he will expose you to friends who have very new movies, talk to you about great movies. And if you fall into that information, then he gradually observes how you relate with the movies, and he sees, I can hook Frank up with this. If you're given to women, men, in terms of relationships and stuff, he will watch the kind of women that you love as a man, the kind of men that you love as a woman, and he will see the gaps in your history and in your life and what kind of things that you're predisposed to be falling into. Even when you came to know Christ, Jesus has forgiven and forgotten, but Satan has a record of where you fell and how you fell and what used to make you fail. That's what it means, that watch and pray that you don't fall into temptation. Temptations are those things that I've just mentioned, the things that pull you, the things that the enemy can use to fashion a weapon against you. So Jesus is speaking and saying, watch and pray that you don't fall. Falling means that you enter into. The other version says you don't enter into. In other words, it's not that the temptations will not come. They will come, but you will not enter into them. You will not agree with them. You will not fall into them. There is a chance to fall, but you refuse to fall. How do you refuse to fall? Watching and praying. When you are a prayerful believer, a prayerful believer. Prayerful believer is something that looks like this, that you are conscious that through prayer, that's how you build your relationship and antenna and consciousness of God. And so every moment you get a chance to talk to the Father, you talk to him. You talk to him in the morning, during that moment where you have your quiet time. During the day when you face hurdles, you talk to him about it. It could be just the same way I'm talking to you through this video clip, but you talk to him. When you are happy and excited that something has become victorious or you've succeeded in something, you talk to God about it, praying, talking to God. When you're predisposed to giving your life into that manner, that you are always conscious that God is around you and you talk to him. That's what Jesus meant by watch and pray that you may not fall. When you're given to that kind of lifestyle of praying all the time, talking to God, consciousness of God every time you get a chance, what happens is that you build your spirit man, that even when the enemy comes to tempt you, you are able to say no confidently and not lured. And it can go to even greater levels. Now you move even to the place where now people travail in prayers. People spend hours in prayers. Why? Because they've come to a realization that that's a system that we can use as believers to strengthen our innermost being. Not only to get strategies and ideas and our prayers answered of our personal desires, but using that as a strategy to allow the enemy, to allow yourself to grow so that you can outsmart the enemy. So praying to build yourself, praying to build the relationship, praying to become stronger in the things of God. Watch and pray that you may not fall into temptation. We are in a warfare. One of the ways to strengthen our being, our system of going to the barracks so that we get the prerequisite training that will equip us and make us become the policemen, the soldiers that we need to be. One of the schools that we go through when we are in that training is prayer. And so may God encourage your life. May God inspire your life to become that life that is prayerful. And I'm praying for you as I pray for myself, that you may become a prayerful being in this world. That is the way, one of the ways we build our spiritual strength to be able to overcome even every aspect that the enemy will throw against you in form of the wiles that we talked about. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. God bless you.